Welcome back, guys, to the Ultimate Scum One Life Survival Challenge and the Ultimate Build. Why is it the Ultimate Build? Because it's the final build for this challenge. Guys, I am not going to create another character. I'll leave it up to you guys if I fail this time. And as you can see, very easy to get the stats right. Okay, you lower the intelligence to 2, you make your PP size smaller, then you take your strength to 3, max out dexterity and constitution and put the 0.5 that's left, okay, in your strength. You max out the melee weapons because melee weapons are extremely important. As we've seen, I've died quite a few times due to close combat. I put just my handguns to basic because I don't want a pistol to jam in the beginning, and I'll probably be using a pistol early. I want my endurance to max so that I can stay in a fight for much longer, especially a melee fight, and put the rest in running because I'll upgrade that naturally, and I don't want to really overweigh my character to build up endurance. Thievery max, stealth medium, driving basic, and then add intelligence, awareness to medium, camouflage to basic because I want to level up sniping, survival and engineering. Difficult to level up camouflage and it's difficult to level up awareness. Okay, so just a great build. Camouflage not really going to help me, maybe on a maybe for another player. Don't really care. It's the base stats that I'm worried about instead of what it does. So, the other reason why this is the ultimate build, not just because I think that stat allocation is the best that I've come across, it's going to be the way we are going to play this character as well. So the first thing we're going to see is when you search for rocks, and again, thank you to the comments, when you search for rocks, you can turn around the rocks. You can move and look at the same rock pile at a different angle, and then you can search it again to get another rock. Okay, like I'm turning, the text comes up again and is giving me new rocks. Okay, so you can search a rock pile multiple times from different angles. Thank you very much to Striker Zod for giving me that tip. I created the axe head in case I want to use the axe head, but as you guys can clearly see around me, there's a heck of a lot of bushes. Now, when there's a lot of bushes, you don't really need the axe unless you want to go for the axe. And we're eating the aloe vera here because it gives us 45 milliliters of water and a little bit of base stats. Of course, it's going to give us carbs, but it's giving us some vitamins and proteins, or vitamins and minerals. But the big thing is that, it's just giving us a little bit of water. And then we're going to run out of water before we run out of food, okay? So the other thing that you can use aloe vera for is to patch yourself, okay? So it's a perfect rag because it's got 100% durability. So it's going to work better than a strip. A strip or a normal rag. And hopefully it's going to help a lot with the new metabolism system because with the next update, we're going to be able to get infections and stuff like that. So here you can see I just chopped up a bunch of bushes for the sticks. And if you want to get 6 rags from your clothing right from the start, get the supporter pack. The supporter pack gives you an extra shirt. It gives you a little PP protector, okay, so you're getting 2 extra items that you can cut up, and it just makes your start a lot easier. Of course, you can go to a puppet, kill the puppet, and chop the puppet's clothing up for rags, but it just enables you to have a great start every time you start or every time you die, okay? Now, the reason I'm not cutting this out, like I've done in the past, is because I want you guys to get used to this. This ultimate build focuses on patience and immersion and just relaxing, letting everything come to us, not forcing anything, okay? Like, I stopped cutting my socks there because I saw another rag opened up. So even without cutting up your socks, you can get 6 rags, which you need for 2 of the items that you build in the start. So you're going to need it for this courier backpack, okay, the 3 rags. And then I think you're going to need it for either the quiver. I think you're going to probably need it for the quiver. Let's just quickly check. We're going to craft the rope. And then the quiver needs 3 rags as well. Okay, so you need those 6 rags for the courier backpack and the quiver. And I want you guys to get used to this because I played with my friend Anthony the other day, and when you don't get used to this and you keep rushing things, one thing that he does is when he dies, he respawns in the sector and then he runs to his body. But because we're playing on the Survival Evolved server, my personal server, you do get wild spawns, okay, and you do get wild animals. So he ends up in trouble a lot of the time. Now, when you spawn in your sector, spending 50 fame points, and you die like once or twice because you just sprinted back to your body, that can get a bit frustrating, and it also wastes a heck of a lot of time. So I want you guys to get used to this so that every time you die, you don't have to go through this process when you're running back to your body. But what I want you to do when you die and you want to get back to your body, if players killed you, then I think it's better for you just to go through this process again. Unless it's one guy that killed you, then again, you can quickly make the axe, quickly chop down a tree, quickly craft a club to smack him over the head. Maybe you can knock him out. But the basic thing is to quickly craft a stone knife, which doesn't take you a lot of time. And then just craft a spear quickly, just chop down a bush, craft a spear, and then go for your body. By doing that, any puppets that you run into, you'll be able to handle. Any animal you run into, or most animals you run into, you'll be able to handle. And then if you get to the player, then you've got something to fight him with. I don't suggest taking on a player with a spear, except if you're really good at throwing. But these days, spears aren't that great to throw with. So, for me personally, if a guy killed me, I'd quickly get the axe, quickly chop down a tree, quickly craft a club, and then go. To get really close and personal with him, smack him over the head. And then again, because I've got 5 dexterity and 5 constitution, and I'm going back, so I'm empty. This is very important, guys. I am empty, so I'm a lot faster than him. He's looting me. He had loot. He probably killed me with a gun. All the weight is off me now, okay? So I can now run to him, hopefully smack him over the head, and if he tries to run away from me to reload his weapon or whatever the case may be, he can't get away from me. Even if his character is just as fast as me, which is very rare because people don't really go for 5 dexterity and 5 constitution. But even if he's just as fast as me, he's got weight on him, which slows him down automatically when I've got no weight on me, so I'll always catch him. He'll run out of stamina before I run out of stamina, so I can just keep on him, get that headshot, let him pass out, slap him to death, and then loot him. So just something that I want you guys to focus on. And then again, I am not rushing here. I'm taking my time. I want us to go through this process. At least I'm cutting the most of the crafting because I've got no survival skill. You're gonna have to wait a little bit, but remember, it's a marathon. This is one character. When you play on an online server, or you play on my server, Survival Evolved, or you play on a server that you play on a lot, this process is going to get shorter and shorter and shorter because nothing that you do in Scum is a waste. Okay, every single thing you do lets your character become better. Okay, so if you do this 100 times, after you've died and done what I've now done 100 times, the process is going to be like 25% of the time that you use, that it used to take you in the beginning, because you'll probably have a medium or an advanced, at least a medium or close to advanced survival skill by that time, especially if you've built a base, okay? So all of this gets a lot faster. And all the small things that you do makes a difference. If you see this as a marathon instead of a sprint, you won't think anything is a waste of time. Searching a puppet isn't a waste of time because it gives you awareness. Chopping him up isn't a waste of time because it gives you awareness. And searching him can give you an item that you may be looking for, like thread or a knife. We all know puppets gives you rare items, and puppets can even give you a key card. One of my friends, Anthony, has found a key card on a puppet. Okay, so searching them is never a waste of time. And then the other thing is chopping them up is a quick way to release your arrows instead of kicking the puppet to death. And then again, because I took no skills in archery, okay, every shot I give this puppet is great fame. Okay, so I'm going to get a major fame in the beginning, and you guys will be surprised how much you need fame points. Of course, you need fame points to respawn, but when you start raiding, or when you start doing kill boxes, or anything, you'll realize that every time you lockpick, it takes a fame point. Okay, every single time you lockpick, it takes a fame point. So having a head start on fame points is going to help you a heck of a lot. Like, I've done a kill box the one time, and in those 15 minutes, I don't want to use rubber gloves anymore, because when I use rubber gloves, I tend to waste a lot of advanced lockpicks and a lot of screwdriver uses. But I've used, I think, 100? Yeah, 100 to 100. What was it? I was at 486 fame, and when I came out of when I did 2 kill boxes, I ended up on 311. Okay, so that's 170 fame that I used between 2 kill boxes, giving you an average of about 85 fame. So I tried to pick those locks 85 times, before I got through all the gates in the kill box. And I didn't get through the gold one. I just spent a lot of uses on it. One day when I do a perfect kill box, I'm a pro at cutting the wires, but I'm not a pro at the lock picking yet. So once I master those skills, I'll give you guys the perfect kill box guide. Because as you guys know, everything I do, I make notes, physical notes or mental notes, to try and help you guys in the future. I go through the things I struggle with, and I try and figure out everything that I need to figure out, so that you guys don't have to struggle through that. Okay, because I've got patience. I've got a little bit more time than you guys. I still work. Okay. If you guys don't want me to work anymore and you want me to do this full time, the Patreon link is down below. And the current patrons that I have, is helping me to climb levels, to get this channel to where I want it to be. I'd say at the moment the channel is 20%. The channel art, the discords, everything that I've got planned for the future is 20%. Once we get to 100%, you guys will see that everything will be top quality. Everything will be top quality. And here, I knew about the tower, but I'm still going to give the guy that left the comment credit. Okay, so whoever told me to focus on the towers, thank you, dude. I do focus on the towers. And this tower, on a 0.5 loot server, is absolutely freaking incredible. A little lost tower over here. Now, in the past, when I was rushing things and didn't want to waste any time, I tend to skip towers, especially on a 0.5 loot server, because even on a normal server, like a 1x loot server, a lot of the towers don't have anything in it. Okay, and then after a while, you think it's a waste of time. And the reason I wasted that arrow, guys, is just to see if my character with 3.5 strength can handle the 50-pound Cobra bow that I'm using now. Okay, of course I want to use the 50-pound Cobra bow instead of the 20-pound crafted bow, because the 50-pound Cobra bow is going to travel a heck of a lot further, which I'm going to show you. And then when I get the 60-pound compound bow, I'm not going to set it to adapt to my 3.5 strength, because then it's going to lose poundage. I'm going to keep it as is. But because I can already handle the 50-pound bow with no archery skill, I know the 50-pound bow is going to be a breeze by the time that I get to basic archery. Okay, and when I get to medium archery, even better. And then one day when I get to advanced archery, I'll be a pro. So I already know the 3.5 strength is perfect for me. Okay. And you can just see, the distance, okay? The 20-pound bow drops very quickly. Now, if you guys see you getting tired, just click the right mouse button. Never waste an arrow, okay? While you're holding the mouse down and pulling the bow back, if you get tired, click the right mouse button. If you see you've killed a puppet and you've already drawn the next arrow, click the right mouse button, okay? Don't waste your arrows. One thing that I'm doing here is, I'm testing the bow's distance, but because I'm trying to push it to the max, I am missing quite a few times, and that also makes me lose arrows. Now, in the beginning, I won't say I lose arrows. I mean, you can just walk in the path that you shot the arrows. You'll probably be able to pick them up past your target. But when you're using wooden arrows, or even wooden arrows with feathers, it's not the end of the world. But once you get to a compound bow with carbon arrows or steel arrows, or the best one, the broadhead arrows, then you don't want to miss your targets, okay? You don't want to take the risk of losing arrows, and you don't want to be in that mindset of, I'm not really, I don't really care about the arrows. I can just cut down a bush and replace the arrows, okay? Or I can just get more feathers and replace the arrows. You don't want to do that. And the other thing that I'm focusing on here is I'm going to get my bow skill to basic, and then see, I think after basic, I'll probably still get 1 fame point for every puppet that I kill. And I know most of you knows that, the events are broken at the moment, because if, just 2 or 3 guys enters an event, they get more fame than what they went in with. Okay, which is a negative thing for me, but like I said, I do research on everything and I take notes on everything. So it looks like the events, don't give all the fame points to the winner. It's like in percentages from first to second to third. But I thought everyone that enters the event pays 10 fame, so that's the prize pool, and then the prize pool gets split amongst the contestants. So the guys at the top will gain a bit of fame, but the guys at the bottom will lose a bit of fame. Not all their fame, because it's being split between all the guys that entered the event, but there's not going to be a surplus. But then after research, I saw that there is a surplus. Like if me and a friend, or me or 2 friends enters an event and we do the event, then all of us end up with more fame than what we had. Okay, so if you guys want to farm fame like that, great. I personally just do events to have fun with the community and to enjoy myself. I don't really try to, abuse something that isn't right, okay? But you guys can use it. You can just go, I think that's what Avenger did with his friend. So Avenger, if you're listening, buddy, those 200 kills you got, I see you've got a 2.5 kill death ratio. Your poor Mr. Fack that probably joined you in the events has only got a 0.4 kill death ratio. So, like Avenger, you all know who Avenger is. He got quite a few fame points in the events. It's not saying he did the events for fame. He did the events to just have fun with his friend. But that's definitely one thing that I want them to fix. And this is a clear example of the Cobra being powerful. The fact that I can test the distance all the time, and then there's a lot of puppets. If I get on the right distance, they don't notice me, they don't see me, so I can kill puppets safely, without them even charging me. So when I get the compound bow, remember when you pull back the compound bow, it zooms in. It's like it closes up the field of view. So I'll be able to kill a horde without them even knowing where I am, without even spotting me. Okay, so that's where better bows and higher, higher poundage on the bows helps a heck of a lot, because it lets the arrow travel, straighter for longer before it starts dropping. But yes, guys, so that's Fame. I hope they change that. I really hope they change that. I don't know. I don't like anything that can be abused. And like, even the fact that I can get to advanced demolitions probably in an hour or 2 hours, from nothing. I'm not promoting it. I am not telling you guys, I love these shortcuts. No, I'm just putting us on a level playing field. Okay? And hopefully, because I've figured out, the next step and the next step and the next step. I mean, if you guys watched my last video, it's absolutely insane how fast I can level up the demolition skill. And I don't think anyone's ever shown that method that I showed, in my last video. But I'd like them to fix it. Really, I would like them to fix it, guys. I'm already working on skill points. Like I'm creating a chart for the developers, to try and help them with balancing. Like on the lockpicking practice tool, how much fame do you get when you successfully lockpick the basic, and then how much do you get for the silver, and how much do you get for the gold, and then the demolition skill, try and figure out what we can do there. I don't really like it that you always get 250 skill points when you successfully cut the wires. So I'm trying to figure out a way I'm figuring out a chart, to tell them, okay, I think this is a good place to get to basic, per successful wire cut. But then when you get, when you reach basic, we need to give the person more skill points, so that he's motivated to keep on, so that it doesn't become a brain farting process, okay, which frustrates the living daylights out of you, or that kills your experience. I think it's better that you can only get skill points when you do the practice thing successfully. But with the practice lockpicking tool, the skill points that you get must be higher, depending on the difficulty. And then maybe, as you go up in skill from basic to medium and advanced, you can get some skill bonuses as well. But for the demolition skill, I definitely think it should scale up. I definitely think it should scale up. Like, I don't really have a problem with 250 skill points with no skill. But then when you reach basic and now you have to get 100,000 skill points, I think the 250 per successful wire cut is a brain death thing, okay? So in any case, we're going to do this down in the next session, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. The videos are a bit shorter, but I'm still giving you guys like an hour gameplay in like 20 or 25 minutes. And I'm not going to be rushing information like I did now in the next video, but I just thought, and I'll give tips, I'll always give tips, but we'll be more actively talking about what's happening, as we're going. So I'm just going to log out here. I hope you guys have a great day. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel and join the Patreon if you want to. If you want me to stop working in real life, and have fun. Cheers.